Starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody! What we are going to do here today is unprecedented for us at TTV. We are going to basically review, talk about, and cover Season 10 of the popular web series Red vs. Blue. For those that don't know what RVB is, it is basically a Halo machinima that has been going on for quite a number of years now.
10 to be exact.
Yeah, 10 years. Made by Rooster Teeth Company. And it has basically had a machinima iteration for every Halo game released thus far. The season finale today actually is the day before Halo 4's release. At the very end of the finale, they basically announced the new season will be in Halo 4. No surprise, new season coming next year. That's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to give our thoughts and opinions on Season 10, since it is now over, and we've been following it, as it's been going on. And it's actually funny, because Kahi here is actually playing Halo 4 right now.
Right. I know. I got it in the midnight release. It is basically, yeah, Halo 4 as soon as I could possibly get it.
And meanwhile, Eljay and I are playing Halo Reach.
Unfortunately.
And hating every minute of it.
Now, I'm going to tell you this. Halo 4 is definitely the best looking game. Like, forget anything of gameplay. It's definitely the best looking game on the Xbox. It's amazing.
Excellent.
I mean, this is just first level, and we're inside a ship. We haven't even gotten to like the mountain ranges and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's looking fantastic. So.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right.
Well.
So
yeah.
RVB this season had 22 episodes, I believe, and that I suppose brings us to a good. Well, I guess rather than jumping straight into what I think the problems are with this season, because there are quite a few, I guess it'd be a good idea to give like the premise of the season.
Right.
Kahi, you mind briefly going over that?
Yeah, okay. Well, I guess it's kind of interesting for me because this is my first full season of Red vs. Blue. I actually was not a fan of it until mid last year. When I first saw parts of season 9, and I guess now I'm sort of the biggest Rooster Teeth fan here, ironically enough. In that short amount of time, like I actually have paid money to sponsor Rooster Teeth, which if you know me, I never do. So that's sort of like I haven't been here since day one. That was a sweet assassination, by the way. All right, I haven't been here since day one, but I caught up in all the seasons in one go. So I'm basically the closest thing to kind of an unbiased fan at this point. I'm not like oh, nostalgia. I saw this when I was in college, so obviously it's the best iteration, season 1 forever, sort of deal. Okay, so basically, I'm not sure where to start. If you haven't been paying attention to Red vs. Blue, basically, I don't know where to start from.
Just go like
Okay, basically, yeah. The freelancers, Tex has effectively been killed. And right now, Washington is with the Blood Gulch crew as a replacement replacement for Church. And Alpha Church is dead, but Epsilon Church has sort of replaced him. He's reached metastability, which is basically the highest an AI unit can go in terms of being human-like, aware. Same thing with Cortana.
Controller vibrating like crazy.
Yeah, sorry, I'm holding it right up to me. Sorry, I'll see if I can turn that off at some point. Okay, so basically, their church is rescued by Agent Carolina, who actually wants him to go and help her kill the director, and that's the premise for this entire season. They find clues getting closer to the director, and see what happens to the rest of the freelancers, basically.
That's a pretty good summary, yeah. So keep in mind what you just said. Season is about finding clues and tracking someone down, and it goes on for 22 episodes. Now you may think to yourself, man, 22 episodes. They must have had a lot of exciting stuff going on in this season, and a lot of plot twists and plot turns that would make it take so long to get through. Or either that or there was this really complex mystery going on. Nothing of the sort. The only reason there are that many episodes is because the episodes for the series, the episodes for the season are painfully short, and they're spread out. A lot of episodes are filler of them going from one place to another for no apparent reason, with intermittent flashbacks, and then yeah. LJ, what are your thoughts on the episode progression this season? Because me personally, I hated it. If I had to pick a flaw, that would be it. It was that the episodes are short, there are a lot of filler, etc. So.
Yeah, I think the whole freelancer stuff, they should have focused on the freelancer stuff. I really despise the whole split in between freelancer and Blood
jarring.
Gulch, and it was extraordinarily jarring. And I really wish they would have just devoted some episodes to this, some episodes to that. But something that annoyed me the most was they kept on reusing jokes.
Yeah.
This was a recycled season.
I noticed that, and maybe it's just because RVB is... You know, that's the thing, Kahi. You were like, you're an unbiased... You're the closest thing here to an unbiased fan.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Either LJ or myself. It's probably the exact opposite, though I'd say more so myself. Just because I've actually watched... Yeah, some may call me crazy for this, but I do it every time a new season comes out. I've watched the entirety of the series 4 times.
I've watched it multiple times myself. I'd say pretty much 4 at this point because it's
at this point
I
to
love
me, and this happens for anything that you're a fan of for a long period of time, it's just not funny anymore. Sarge hates Griff, Caboose is dumb, Washington gets exasperated with Blue Team, Simmons is Simmons, Sarge likes his shotgun. Those are the jokes for Red versus Blue. At this point, I no longer find them funny.
At this point, there were a lot of scenes in this season that I did find kind of funny, but a lot of them were just sort of kind of there. I think they need something. They're running out of material. They just need to start doing more stuff with it.
Yeah.
It seems like it's kind of like what Eljay said. They are reusing a lot of stuff, and I say this without a nostalgia filter, whatnot. They are actually reusing a lot of jokes this season. It's not to a point where it's completely exasperating, or it's not like you're repeating it line for line or anything. But you're not really going to get anything amazingly new. If you're looking for, this entire season is not as heavy on the comedy.
My favorite season of Red vs. Blue is season 6, Reconstruction. And I like that season for a number of reasons. I found the actual storyline and plot development in that season to be very well handled. It introduced a host of new characters with new personalities and such. Like the director, like the counselor, like Washington. And then season 8 kind of expanded on that a little bit by bringing Tex back and whatnot, and having the Meta obviously as an antagonist, much more of an imposing antagonist than Omega ever was, or O'Malley.
I like season 8 more than season 6 simply because that's where I feel the animation worked best. The animation in season 8 was very well done, very well fitting towards the series. Especially, the best animated scene is the Tex versus the Blood Gulch crew fight. That's probably the best scene in the animated scene in the entire series because it's not only it blends the humor out of everything that goes on with the Blood Gulch crew, but it also battle rifle. I got battle rifle. Sorry, but it also blends this awesome animation thing that's going on. It's it's not a giant complicated fight, but it's still very complex. It's very Monty Ohm-esque, and there's really no other adjective to describe it. It's Monty Ohm-esque.
Well, the point I was trying to make by bringing up Reconstruction, it was that it drove a steady plot forward by expanding upon the freelancers. which was a new thing at the time, believe it or not. And it introduced enough, characters like with Washington and whatnot to actually make it gave new potential for jokes. There was, a bunch of new things, new comedic things to basically do because of the setting, because of the premise, because of the characters and their interactions, etc.
Yeah.
Then season 7 happened, and that season was a waste of time. And then season 8 happened, and I loved season 8. A trilogy devoted to the freelancers. And then season 9 happened. And then season 10 happened. 5 seasons about the freelancers.
They
need to stop it.
See, I love the freelancers. I'm not gonna lie. I love freelancers. I love season 9. I liked the split in season 9 because like I felt that the split really gave a lot of new stuff over to the series. Like a lot of the stuff that was planned, or not planned, as long as it was done, it was easily, segregated. They actually did a lot of good material in season 9, and good comedy material, and sweet assassination animation. They also, had the animated sequences for freelancers. All of these were very memorable. They're very big. They're very I guess sort of stage. I guess there's more for show than they were actual, just kind of hand to hand. But they were very big in scope. And
Eljay, what are your thoughts? But between the freelancers, does have the last 2 seasons felt fresh in regards to them because of the CGI sequences and backstory, or is it like a bit played out at this point?
Season 9 felt fresh to me.
Season 9 was good.
Yeah, season 10 was a total rehash. But very quickly, in regards to favorite seasons, I thought that season 8 was really good. Season 8 was my favorite, but yeah, season 9 felt fresh because it was an experiment with what they could do with their CGI, that's for sure. I mean, showing the faces of people opens up a lot of new possibilities.
Definitely.
And, we got to learn more about backstory, got to figure out what happened here and there. But, yeah, season 10 was a total rehash.
One quote comes to mind after talking about this with you guys. It's from Washington. Did anything interesting ever happen to you guys that wasn't directly preceded by a call from command or a freelancer doing something or other? And the response was silence. And he said, I'll take that as a no. Nothing interesting happens that's worthy of making a show about unless it has something to do with the freelancers. Maybe it's just me. I've seen the backstory of these freelancers. I know how most of them die. We've gotten a plethora of crazy CGI sequences with the freelancers. A freelancer is part of the regular cast and crew. A freelancer was basically the protagonist of the last 2 seasons, Carolina. Please stop with the freelancers now. Or else, if RVB is basically going to become a story about the freelancers and what they do for the rest of its lifespan, I'm not gonna find it entertaining anymore. There's only so many times you can watch these crazy people do these epic CGI fight scenes that involve gravity defying, running against walls and doing all these crazy flips and kicks and punches.
Bad, not Monty Ohm animation.
Before it starts to get stale, for me it's gotten to that point, which is why I actually really like the finale. It appears like they're wrapping up that arc and they're gonna move on to new things.
See, I'm actually the opposite. I love the freelancers, and I would love a series just devoted to them.
I would not mind a series devoted to the freelancers. I would not mind a series, but if the freelancers who really, it's kind of like the scenario with Halo Reach, where I played the Halo Reach campaign and I immediately knew every one of these characters that I'm watching is going to die. And because of that, I never really felt any emotional connection to them. I knew
I see what
I knew from the beginning how it will end. And to me, the freelancers, I would love to see a series based around them, except there's no potential anymore because they're all dead. And
Yeah, I get what you mean there. Especially the worst one of the worst one, like the one I hate being dead is York.
definitely.
York and Delta are the two. Like I love to see them part of the main cast, and it sucks that they're dead. It absolutely sucks.
Maybe they'll get
They would be
teleported to
like,
the Red Star.
that is a very good possibility. But okay, I think the big problem here is actually I think it's the opposite of what you're saying with the crazy kung fu animated action. It's not with season 10. It wasn't so much that they didn't have that. It's because it's more like they had all these animated scenes and they used it just for talking around and sitting around and talking and
Yeah.
that's the majority of a lot of the animated scenes in this one.
If you're gonna do the animation, at least make it memorable. Like at least season 9, I may have had my own reservations about them doing the whole split thing. At least the fight scenes were memorable. The whole gimmick with the freelancers is okay. They have these abilities. They're very proficient in combat, so we can have these fight scenes. But
Yeah.
like in season 10, when the fight scenes don't live up to expectations, it all crumbles on into itself, which is why I really liked season 8 a lot more than season 9 and 10, because it used the CGI to supplement the existing machinima. It didn't rely upon the CGI.
I can sort of see what you're saying there. There is one thing I really did like. Okay, it was with season 6. It was very good. Had a lot of good comedy, had a lot of good stuff. But the big part, of course, came at the end with the revelation that it's the guy's like, oh, Dr. Leonard Church. And the music goes, da, 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 da. Like, whoa, my mind is completely blown. I can't believe that. That was my reaction at the end of that. That's what really propelled season 6 for me. Like, But with season 8, that entire finale really felt worth it. That everything leading up to that was great, but they had the giant animated scene, but they also had the last battle with the meta. How that part where Washington is down, he's like, I can't believe that you would do this, and as he's saying, I can't believe the Pelican comes down. That is one of my favorite moments of Red vs. Blue.
The meta was a really good antagonist, and that's something the past 2 seasons are kind of lacking.
Oh crap! I'm out of stuff. I'm out of ammo on both my assault rifle and my battle rifle.
Oh no. Well, okay. So we've talked about like the CGI and like the plot progression. Let's talk about the ending. What did you guys think? Well, not necessarily the ending. That comes next. What are you guys' thoughts on the story of this season and how it progressed? Like, Eljay, what do you think?
The story. I liked the story about figuring out how everything in the Freelancer arc came into place.
Yeah.
I did not, however, really find any interest in, oh, we're gonna kill the director, only for the ending to happen.
We're gonna kill the director even though he's supposedly in jail. Come to find out he's not in jail.
Oh no.
Okay, if I had to pick one thing that really bugs me about this season, one thing that stands out amongst all others is like, the last episode cleared it up for me. It's obvious he evaded capture and he went into hiding somewhere. Not only does that directly contradict his speech at the end of season 6, but no explanation, no motive was given to him.
If you do notice that, the director is actually in prison at the beginning of season 7.
Oh yeah, that's right. So,
remember, he's there with Wash.
Yeah. Oh, come on. Okay, so that basically turns
where is he?
into it.
Like, he was in prison, but the weird thing is though, at the end of season 8, I guess he's still sort of in power. At the end of season 8, like one of the Marines actually looks at Wash's old armor. He's like, oh man, the director would want to question him in person.
What the heck?
That's
Come on.
yeah. I see. I'm not exactly sure with all that, but
So did he escape or was he released or?
I'm not exactly sure, to be completely honest.
Because when they said it, at the end of season 9, when Carolina said, "You're gonna help me kill the director," I was like, "But he's in jail." And then when they did it in season 10 and they had the whole quest to find him, I said, "Just look in the local penitentiary."
Well, yeah.
But I guess.
I guess. Yeah, I guess the director. We're not exactly all too sure what his deal is, because the person I'm interested in. What happened to the counselor?
No.
What's up with the counselor? He's a butt monkey of everything. The director's like, shut up, counselor. That's all he says throughout the entire season. No, the counselor's just gone.
The counselor. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, so I don't know what's up with him, but I guess my problem with this season is that they kept trying to build up a cliffhanger at the end of every episode, which is great. Something you should definitely try to do. But they cut it off and they didn't really resolve it at the end of the next episode.
Yeah, every episode had a cliffhanger to some degree. And speaking of cliffhangers, and not speaking of cliffhangers, speaking of revelations, LJ, what do you think about Captain Flowers being revealed to V8 Florida?
That was probably the best twist of this season. Well, past two, this and season 9. That I found to be the best reveal. I don't understand the whole thing with there only being 49 states. Where'd Florida go? Blah, 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 blah. I don't understand if that has anything to do with Halo story or something. That kind of always confused me.
I don't think so. I don't recall anything about that.
Okay, well, I just didn't understand the whole. There wasn't any Florida. I mean, I don't really like Florida as a state, but that's besides the point.
I would have much preferred it to be Caboose. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, I was expecting it to be Caboose, and I was like, yeah. I mean, it sort of makes sense because Caboose, even though he's stupid, but he's said to be super he's super strong. He was even proven in season 4, season 5, season 3, when he's even stronger than Tex.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Honestly, while it would have been interesting to see Caboose be Agent Florida, I think that kind of toned down on the charm the character has. He's actually a freelancer. And besides, so many people thought that he's already a freelancer. I mean, people really think that he's either Agent Utah or Agent Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I can. I mean, it's kind of iffy, which. The big twist for me was the whole thing of Carolina. I wasn't expecting that.
No, I really was not.
It's kind of really a messed up family now that you kind of think about it, She's basically, she's hanging out with an AI version of her dad, and she's been fighting her mom basically throughout the entire seasons of stuff. I guess it's sort of weird when you compare Church to the director. Even when I see them both together, I never really you don't really make that connection that Church could ever grow up to be the director. Because one, the director seems to have everything under control and planned out and methodically, fought and everything, and Church is just sort of lazy and yells at everybody. Yep. So, it's, I don't know. Of course with Tex and Allison, I was interested at her reveal in their face. That was kind of interesting.
I'm looking at it like this. At the very end of the season, when they revealed Church has left exile, Which also, it surprised me they would go to exile and not Ragnarok, but the change in scenery is very welcome. Anyway, does this mean Church will no longer be in the machinima? Is that what they're saying?
No, I don't. I'm not exactly sure.
At least temporarily.
Yeah.
Because
Go ahead.
As far as I'm concerned, I could deal with losing Tex, a staple character since season 1, because she's kind of been played out at this point. And she's still been in the seasons, so it's really not like she's left, per se. Losing another main character with no one to really replace him except Washington, who is also kind of played out at this point. I don't know, like, obviously Church has been played out too. As far as I'm concerned, Church is and has always been the main character of the series.
Yeah, same.
It's effectively them, like, removing the protagonist.
Well, here's the thing that I was expecting at the end of season 9 that I didn't get. Sorry, I'm sort of leading the subject away from Church. I see, because honestly, I have no idea. Bernie has not said one thing or another on the podcast. I have no idea what they're going to do with Church. Yeah. I'm sort of assuming that they're going to keep him around and just sort of having him
take a hiatus.
Take a hiatus. Maybe concentrate on the other characters for a bit. I don't know.
That'd be appreciated.
But what I wanted to see is how did they find Church? Like, what did the stuff they had to do to find Church in season 9? It's like, like at the end of season 9, they're all there and they have Carolina and everybody's sort of like, yes, we went on this giant epic quest to get you, Church. And I thought they were going to explain that in season 10. Nope. Like, you're going to show, but nothing happened.
Alder, what were you going to say?
Oh. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. You watch. They're going to have next season be a split.
Please, no. Please, no.
No, you think it wouldn't be possible.
It's a never trilogy, obviously enough.
No.
6, 7, 8.
No, not that.
What?
It's going to be a split between Blood Gulch guys and Carolina and Church.
Please, no. I don't think I could take that. I think I'd, crawl up into a ball.
Whoa. This is incredible.
No, don't talk about Halo 4. We're talking about Red versus Blue.
Okay, right. I'm sorry. It's sort of okay, if we're going to talk about Halo 4 and Red versus Blue, let's talk about Halo 4 and Red versus Blue.
No, we're talking about Red versus Blue.
Obviously, the next season 11 is going to be made in Halo 4.
Obvious.
Yeah. Now, of course, poor Caboose, his helmet.
It's kind of gone.
Yeah.
Is it just me? I really, I don't know. There was initially a concern a while back because they released an RVB promo video in Halo 4 and the armor looked messed up. The coloring was off. The texturing was bad. I can say with confidence that that's not the case. And what they showed today, it looks perfectly fine. But something about that armor and the way it looked, with them just doing the normal motions and the head bobbing and the turning, something looked off to me, and I just did not like the look of Halo 4 being used in machinima.
I had that exact same thought.
I think it was the visor, the distracting green visor.
It's not green, that's yellow.
The helmets looked a little off to me. Like, they looked a little out of proportion.
Well, the helmets in Halo 4 in general look a little off.
I mean, it's not just, Mark 6 and Recon, which I was actually supposed to use, and now I'm sort of having doubts on it. It doesn't look exactly like the...
Oh, come on. Now I gotta update my list.
Yeah, you have to update your list. Okay, but basically, it's just... What time is it? It's like 1:18. I don't know. It's just it looks a little off. I'm guessing we're gonna get used to it. For me, I always thought Halo 2 looked off when they did it in Halo 2.
Me too.
I always thought that looked off. Halo 3 was the only natural fit for Red vs. Blue. I thought really yes, this really does represent the series.
For me, have you reached the end of the first mission yet? By the way.
No, I haven't.
Oh wow. Okay. Well.
No, I'm I'm cruising around and I'm admiring this gorgeous landscape. It's amazing.
Well,
Tell us about it.
Okay. my deal is, in order for Halo 4 to be a successful setting for the next season of RVB, they need to do a couple things. Use a lot of the maps, unlike in Reach, where they squandered all of Reach's machinima potential and capabilities by using only Hemorrhage, and then this season briefly doing some Forge thing with Tex and Church.
Yeah.
They basically squandered that game and ruined that. With Halo 4, they're getting a head start and they're actually not doing it in a dream sequence. So that's a good start. But in order for it to be successful in my eyes, they need to use all the different environments. And I don't want it to be like Halo 3, especially this season, where they did not really use. They used a pretty good variety of maps and environments in, yes, Halo 3. Their usage of Halo 3. I do not want it to be like that, where, okay, they used a pretty good variety of maps in the first 3 seasons. I'd say they used pretty much everything. And then they backtracked through them all again in season 10, and it made it feel kind of redundant. But I would like for them to kind of, okay, maybe do 2 next season, have like something happen that makes them go to a location, then maybe another one the next season. I just want the game to get what it deserves, and I think the potential for Machinima in Reach was very high because of the Forge capabilities of being able to actually build custom maps for different purposes, and I was eager to see what they'd do with that, and then nothing ever happened.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, Machinima goes beyond just standing around and head bobbing. You know? And what I mean by that is like the usage of the game engine, having battles and whatnot, going to different locations, plot progression, etc. So I don't know. I'm hoping it turns out good with Halo 4.
I guess there's several more things I want to talk about, but the biggest one thing I wanted to actually know is that there's some hit and miss with the acting this time. There's more hit than miss, definitely. I feel like that, but there are some very, very good parts with acting that I wanted to address, specifically one that's that one episode with York.
Yeah.
Where he's talking to that one, I felt was just very well done in terms of voice acting, in terms of, I think that the music was really good in helping bring that out.
Yeah.
So, of course, the ending as well with the director and how he's basically reduced from the person we saw him in all these flashbacks to this sort of pathetic old man who's just trying to relive something that he can't retain. That was also very good in terms of the acting in them itself. I love how the director does not get super emotional. I love how he just like the last you see him, he just asks for Carolina's pistol. Like that, I feel like that's a very good thing to do with that character. Not having.
My only question is, what was he gonna do with the pistol now?
Really?
No, I'm serious. I'm asking that seriously. Is he expecting the people to come, and he's gonna have a firefight, or is he just gonna?
He's
kill
gonna
himself?
shoot himself. He's gonna kill himself. That's what he's saying. That's why he wants to seal everything in. He said he wants to delete all the files of this one. He's basically gonna kill himself after he watches that file.
And basically wipe it all from existence.
Yeah, wipe it out.
So we're playing a big team battle game in Reach right now. I really want this specific map. It's one of our favorite maps in the game, and if this is to be the last BTB match we play, I'm very glad I'm getting to play on one of my favorite maps in the game.
Okay, well,
carry on.
With I guess I don't know what else I was gonna say. Oh right. Okay, so of course I think the best awesome moment in this series has to be the last battle. Where everybody sort of gears up. It's not really. It's sort of like the line before that. It's like that calm before the storm, and everybody sort of loading up their weapons.
Yeah, I did. I love that scene.
I love that scene because it's first its original theme back by Chocardo. Sarcardo. I forget the band name, but it's the roses are red, violets are blue, that kind of thing.
Yes.
And as everybody's loading up, you see
the setup for that battle was better than the actual battle.
Yeah, the actual battle could have been a lot better done, and we'll have to get. I want to really get into that because that really annoyed me.
Yeah, that's like one of the things we should probably talk about last is the whole CGI thing.
Okay, but basically that entire you see all of the characters finally having gone from these inept soldiers into people that they can actually do stuff.
Yeah,
and it's like I love what everybody has basically their iconic weapon now. Sarge has his shotgun, but now Simmons has the rocket launcher, and Griff has the Griff shot.
the Griff shot.
The Griff shot.
Yeah, that was a very well done scene in some aspects.
I'm not doing very well in this Halo game. I'm too tired to play correctly.
But that Halo game?
What?
Yeah.
In that Halo game?
Yes, that Halo game. But I mean,
no. You're not getting my point.
What?
In just that one?
Oh.
Funny guy. You got jokes.
Jokes, we'll call them that for now. I like to copy you a lot of the time, Meso, so I'll go ahead and say I like truths.
Stop.
Anyway, continue.
Oh yeah, I mean, I can't really think of any other things to talk about outside
there's
of
nothing
the
we
animation.
can talk about aside. Yeah, that's that, and then the thoughts on where we'd like the series to go next season should probably be the wrap up. But yes, the animation.
Okay, so I'm a very big, a huge Monty Ohm fan. I love Monty. I love all the stuff he does. Just everything like that. So I love the animation, what he's done with it. This season's animation,
terrible.
Yeah, it's like I don't even know how to say this. It's kind of
there's really no word you could use to describe what they did to the animation. I've tried. I really have.
They've plastic-fied it.
That is a very good. The character models look very plastic-esque. They do not look detailed enough. I noticed it actually with not even the character model, with one of the weapons, the energy sword. In particular, when
I noticed
Tucker.
it.
Well, I noticed it as well.
Yeah.
You just actually mentioned it. That thing looked terrible. That model and the animation for it. It's very representative of what happened to everything else that season.
I guess the big thing of this is that what I suspected this entire time, and what has been proven true with RWBY basically. Is that Monty was not as involved with animation as he was with all the other seasons.
Yeah.
And it shows because this season it's less Monty. There's no real other way to say it.
Yeah.
The attacks have less weight. The choreography isn't as,
choreography.
Not choreography. It's not as varied. It's not as or almost ingenious. If you've seen any of the stuff he's done with before, even not just his red versus blue stuff, Dead Fantasy, Haloid, he always tries to pull into something new. There's always that small something that really makes it pop.
Yeah.
And for me, one of the biggest memorable scenes in season 9 is that one of the car chase where you're going down the highway and they're basically tearing everything up.
I love that one.
That is one of my favorite scenes. Comparatively, really, in season 9 you only had 3 action scenes, and in this one you have quite a lot more. You have you have the one. I think you have about 4 or 5 in this season.
They're just not memorable.
But none of them are memorable, and that's sort of the thing. It seems like there's a lot more action in season 9 than there actually is, but none of the action scenes are as memorable.
I didn't realize how much I would actually miss the animation until it was actually like the quality of animation until it was actually gone. It's like I criticize it from time to time because I do not think like a whole season should be built around CGI. I think it should be used to supplement the machinima and do things that machinima cannot do in order to better the storytelling of the season. But it is a very nice thing to have in small doses. If you're going to do it good, please.
Yeah.
Because whatever I think about, like I loved its use in season 8. I loved its use in season 9 to an extent. I did not like its use in season 10 because it wasn't all that good. And when you have half the season split in between CGI and normal machinima, and the CGI half looks bad,
I think it's just something with the animation, because Monty wasn't doing it anymore. That's the big thing. Like Monty brought something to animation that you couldn't get anywhere else. Like Rooster Teeth. There's one thing I have to admire them for, is that they really gave him a lot of freedom when it came to that sort of thing. I follow the exploits and quite freely. Once it comes to animation, they just sort of like hand over the reins to Monty and have him do whatever. And I think that works really well because it's like
that's his department.
Yeah, that's his department. It's
like
what he does best.
Biocraft, we're not trying to like monitor VAR's progress. We're just like letting him do his thing and our other people. Because faith in their ability.
I can appreciate the reason they gave for doing the split in season 9 was that it was super hard to match the lighting in Halo 3 and then proceed with that lighting into the animation. And I was like, as I'm slowly getting into, I've become basically a secondary animator, tertiary animator behind math now for Biocraft. But I can understand the amount of trouble that is to get lighting to match up with your machinima. It's harder than it sounds. Basically, you can't just be like, yes, we have the models. It's gonna look perfectly fine. We don't need to do anything with it.
And I'm very glad you brought that up because I was talking about if I had to pick a problem with this season, and it was like with the director and how it makes no sense, the whole premise, because he was supposedly in jail. If I had to pick a problem with the CGI, one problem, it was the part in the second to last episode when they're having the fight or they're preparing to have the fight, and during it, when they feel the need to kind of cut away occasionally to machinima, and the lighting is so drastically darker in Halo 3, and it just looks so jarring. It's like, why did they feel the need to do that if it ruins the flow? All I could think about is that looks hilariously different. They didn't need need to make the switch to machinima for like 4 seconds.
Yeah, I guess that was the big thing. It's only, especially since they spend the rest of season 10 focusing on the freelancers just sitting around and talking. I would think that they were gonna have like they would just animate parts of the red versus blue characters.
Yeah. It was like Eljay, when you mentioned the energy sword, it was like directly after that happened with the lighting. So it was like a double whammy of like, oh man, this lighting's looking hilarious, and then look at that butchered energy sword. This is one bad scene.
Yeah, it was not very well executed, and Monty should have probably been the one in charge of doing that.
But at least now we know why he wasn't. It's because of the new series.
This new series, which I am so pumped for. It's just looking amazing.
I don't know what I think of it yet. Like, that was a good clip, but I don't know.
It's not really all that. It hasn't caught my attention yet. To be quite honest,
I'm gonna wait till the premiere.
Well, as the current founder, as the current president of the MWI, I can see why we have such reservations for actual quality and work, Eljay. But
watch it, Paolo. You're the one who can't get a comic series running for more than a week.
Very true.
But when I do, no, I get him down for more than a week. But when I do, it's absurdly popular. So.
Yeah, it's absurdly popular for all 5 seconds.
Which is more than we can say for what's the name of that? Fight for the Lazy Life? Was that the name of your?
Well, at least I can write a good story.
That was a good.
I wrote a better end to Bionicle.
Oh wow, a better end Bionicle. More like a better end to your sorry career.
Also, Eljay, congrats, you got 41 kills.
Nice.
All right.
But yes, RVB. Finally,
yes.
Where the series should go. You know, as much as I make criticisms about, like, you know, the freelancers are tried, and you know they're done at this point. Move on to something different. I'd be lying if I said I had a definitive idea as to where the series should go. If it was to return to them just like sitting around and talking and doing their own thing, the jokes to me are getting old, so I don't really predict that being able to do much wonders for my opinion of the series, because that's solely reliant on humor. And at this point, they've done like how many seasons now? 5, with a serious plot line throughout an overarching thing. I don't think they're going to go back to how it was in the Blood Gulch Chronicles at this point, where it was like just random things happening that paved the way for like a mini arc for like 5 or so episodes. I think that I don't know, I'm just very curious. I guess that's a good way to put it. I don't have any concrete ideas. I don't even have any wishes other than not the freelancers.
See, okay, I honestly want more freelancers. I love the freelancers. I love the action scenes. I
love the freelancers too, but they're all dead.
Yeah, okay, that's the big thing. They're all dead. I'd like to see something with just the freelancers in their prime. Like there is that one, you know, one of the big action scenes here is all the freelancers working together to take down CT. I want to see more of that. Not just like one freelancer doing this and one freelancer doing that. I want to see them all working together. And like this is before any of the other dramas, you know, started happening. It's just they're there to get a mission done and they just kick everybody else's rears. I just want to see that one to be completely and utterly, you know, run out to its ultimate conclusion.
I guess they could still do the
Hey, dude, there is actually someone with an energy sword, and I'm out of weapons, ammo. That's.
Have you beaten the first mission yet?
I think I'm still on the first mission.
Come on,
energy sword, dude. No, energy sword, dude.
Well, no.
Just think of that as me, Kahi. Making your life miserable.
I have 2 questions. One, have you crashed onto the planet yet?
Yes, I have. Then
you're on the second mission.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, like, I crashed on the planet a while ago. It just didn't say mission 2, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah, because I was curious because I'd read that the energy sword first appears on mission 2 in terms of actually being able to wield it. So that's good to know.
So, this whole time, I've been trying to figure out exactly what chest armor they've all been using because I didn't recognize it.
Yeah.
It is not the standard Mark 6 chest.
Really?
Energy sword. Boo freaking yeah.
Looking through.
Wow, they nerfed it. I'm actually quite, you know.
That's not gonna save you multiplayer, Palo. You're gonna suffer. Trust me. I promise. I will use that sword to make you a Kahi kebab. You got me, Palo? You got me?
A Kahi kebab. Whoa! What was that? A giant shadow disappeared from me.
I'm gonna have heads on the 2-pronged blade as they swing frivolously across the battlefield.
Well, anyhow, I'm just back to Red versus Blue. Like I said, I'm not sure what I want. The same as you. I'm not sure where we're gonna go at this point. All the freelancers are dead. You know, I don't know where they're gonna do.
They need to introduce some sort of new plot line.
Well, I mean, okay, if you really think about it, the freelancers really started coming in around season 6, And season 6, they just brought us out of nowhere, and it's carried us pretty far.
Yeah.
Now, I wouldn't be surprised if they brought up something even just completely new.
The best course of action I think they could do, being completely honest here, tie RVB into the current Halo 4 plotline, this current era, this current theme, with the Infinity, with the Didact, with the Prometheans, with all this stuff, and have it have relevance to the game that's out at the moment. If you really want to get risky, plan with 343 and have RVB complement Spartan Ops, and have the two kind of be well, obviously they're in the same universe, but have things that relate to each other happen in them. Obviously, the RVB crew is not on the Infinity, so that'd probably be a bit of a problem.
Well, okay, I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't mind like a Halo Reach-esque prequel with the Freelancers. Like, playing as that would just be awesome. It would be like a
time travel program. For what I said before, they're wearing armor. I can't recognize. Yeah, scratch that, Stalker.
Lol, Stalker. Okay. Eljay, where do you want RVB to go?
Wanted to kind of sit down for a while with the Blood Gulch guys. Probably get some new things going. Probably don't do what they did when they returned to Valhalla and just have Blue Team completely dominate Red Team. I want to see an advancement with Red Team.
Definitely, yes, I agree.
See actual conflicts, and I want them to do what contradicts what Washington said, what you mentioned, Meso. Something that happens that does not relate to the Freelancers. And you know what? I would even want to see it a longer off time, them becoming actual Spartans.
Yeah.
Spartan Force. Some of them at least. Maybe like
the RVB crew should be on the Infinity.
Yeah. So that's where I would honestly like it to go.
I kind of disagree just simply on the fact that not being a Spartan kind of just makes them more awesome. Like there's at the end of season 8 where the guys sort of like the guys sort of like, oh yeah, like I guess you'll go back to your training exercises now. And he's sort of he's sort of doing that. But really, if you think about it, they just took down like 2 Freelancers and a lot of other things. They took down the meta, and that was impressive. So basically, I just think like just having them be these trainees that no one expects to do anything, that just inherently makes them more surprising when they actually do. Like I guess that's the sort of theme throughout this entire the season 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 is that the Blood Gulch crew are really competent. Like they can really actually be competent. They can really actually be really awesome fighters that can take down the best of the absolute best.
Which is why I want to see them advance in a more military, strategic, drama, combat, but
I guess they could,
kind
but
of story arc.
I guess they could, but that sort of makes them like it sort of takes away of like that hold of that sort of like these guys are these guys are idiots, but they're just lucky enough and they're just skilled enough to make this work.
Yeah, I can see that, but
like the way they took down the meta, no one else could have done that. If they were Spartans, they couldn't have done that. They couldn't.
Oh well, if they were full-fledged Spartans, they wouldn't have needed just that. They probably would have had a lot more highly advanced.
Master Chief versus the meta. Battle rifle goes.
No, my railgun goes. You now don't have an arm. What's that? You don't have a head. I still don't get it. I don't get it. How in the Kazani does the meta survive an energy sword to the chest?
Because he's the
meta.
No, I don't care if he's the meta. You don't survive that.
Okay, here's the thing: the meta survived being hit by a freaking a truck and thrown off the highway, and he survived. And like they don't even mention him. Like all that's really matters is like, oh man, his throat got shot. Like he got shot 5 times in the throat. He's not dead. He gets hit by a truck and thrown off the highway. He's still not dead. Like I don't know what it's gonna take to kill this dude.
No.
But
I
like,
have a list of things he survived.
It's lol. You were going to get that list too.
I
I've got it right
have
here.
it. Got it. Season 9. This is all of what's happened to him in chronological order, not series order, but when it happened. Season 9, a sniper round to the chest, 9 magnum shots to the throat, hit by a speeding truck, reconstruction, sniper round to the foot, machine gun turret fire, recreation, 2 missile pod shots, revelation, explosions from landmines, a chest slash, stabbed in the back, a self-inflicted brute shot explosion, slashed and stabbed in the chest, stabbed through the chest with an energy sword, 4 shotgun shells at point-blank range, and then finally being pulled off a cliff by a warthog wrench, resulting in his death.
That's crazy.
No, you don't survive that.
And you know what? I bet he's still alive.
You know what? Yeah, that's the thing. I kind of agree. He probably is still alive, and they're gonna bring him back as like, I'm the meta, and I hate blood culture. They're gonna do that. I know they're gonna do that.
Probably not, at least in this game, because he'll lose his signature weapon. But they will do it eventually when they inevitably bring back the brute shot, because it has to happen, or else I'll kill someone.
I'm sort of sad like Griff is losing the Griff shot after all this time.
Oh yeah, after all this time of him having the grip shot.
You watch.
Yeah, I know, like all
gonna
of
be
2
like-
episodes.
They're gonna be like, so I upgraded the Griff shot, and it's just a concussion rifle. I call it the Griff rifle.
Yes, I removed the
Or the
bayonet.
Griff shot 2.0.
I removed the bayonet, yet it has the same functionality. That's a real upgrade.
No, you
Lost
make
a
it
bayonet.
fire. Make it fire dodgeballs so you can shoot Simmons with it.
Yes.
Bring back memories, Simmons. High school? No, stop it. Anyway,
But yes, closing thoughts on RVB Season 10.
Lunge. There we go.
Kai, what are your
yes.
closing thoughts?
My closing thoughts. I'm. Monty needs to be like doing stuff again. I guess it's like I'm. It's not the same without him, and I don't like. I don't mean this like nostalgic way. It really isn't. The animation. It's not just the quality, it's just what he brings. It's not even just like, oh, they need to have better graphics or they need to have better equipment. They just need to have. Monty has a sort of skill, a sort of style to him that, like, this one's just not matching. And it needs to match.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean. The acting in this one, I liked a lot of the acting a lot better than I have some of the Evers. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I felt like a lot of stuff here was very well done, but there's also a lot of stuff that wasn't very well done, and that needs to be worked out. Especially if they're gonna do a split next season, I really hope they get that. I really hope they get all the models out of the Uncanny Valley, and that they like. I don't know, like, if Monty's not actively involved, because he will be working on that new series, which I'm very excited for. But that he'll be able to partake or, this give off a lot of his style to the action scenes, I guess. It's just like, it's notice. You can't really put your finger on it exactly, but it's super noticeable once you actually see it. If you're comparing it to any of the others.
Yeah.
It's not just like, it's not just the rhythm of it, because it's the weight of it, the weight of the moves, the sort of methodical. Honestly,
I understand what you're saying.
It's like it's different. It's not there. It needs to come back. And I'm not doing well at this level at all.
Come on, Kahi. It's not that hard. Fight some Covenant, because you have not encountered the Prometheans yet.
This is Kahi we're talking about yet, though. I mean, Kahi, you're pretty incompetent.
No, see, the problem is I could get them all if I just had enough ammo. I keep running out of ammo. There's just not enough.
Running out of ammo this, I keep running out of ammo that. Yeah, you better not say anything like that when I fight you, because you're going down no matter whether you have ammo or whether you don't.
Oh, please. If there was one thing I'd love to have, it's
ammo?
The battle rifle and a good server. And now I have both. Like I just need to start off with enough ammo. I'm just not giving it enough ammo throughout this entire game. It's the honest truth.
You better watch yourself.
This is the first time I've really been like desperate for ammo in a Halo game.
You better watch yourself.
Just find some carbines and just use them. What difficulty are you playing on? Normal.
Normal. Okay. I mean, I'm doing it. It's not super difficult. It's just like, it's not like, I keep dying at this place. I can't pass these guys. I've just run out of ammo.
Just pick up a plasma rifle and start going pew 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 pew.
I have a problem with that.
Why?
Plasma rifle.
Oh, I said plasma rifle. Sorry, I meant plasma pistol. Pew pew pew.
Anyway, are we wrapping up?
Yes, we're wrapping up. My thoughts on this season.
Save and quit and go to do some multiplayer, because multiplayer.
Yeah, go. Yeah, actually, that's what I'm interested in hearing your opinions of.
Customize your Spartan first, Palo.
There's nothing he can even do, so it's colors. Anyway, yes. Okay. Closing thoughts. I hated the CGI. I hated how the CGI was implemented. I found the Freelancer backstory not as interesting as Season 9. I disliked the overall plot. I disliked the premise because it makes no sense about the director. I thought some of the acting was good. I disliked what we were shown of Halo 4. Yeah, I really disliked this season. It's like I'm trying to think of positives. I liked how they wrapped. I loved the finale. And I can't think of anything. I liked what little we saw of the meta, and how I had expected, based on the trailer, I expected the meta to actually be important, but he only appeared for a handful of episodes, and the meta himself, as in not when he actually took on that mantle, only appeared for one, which was a letdown. But Sigma, as an AI character, was very interesting. But yeah, very disappointing.
I was kind of dismayed at how little Elijah Wood was used.
I expected him to be used a lot more. So it was not a horrible season. It was not the worst by any means, but it was not the best. It
was disappointing.
I hope they make better use of Halo 4 than they did with the Reach, and I'm optimistic for the future, and that's all I'll say. Eljay, what do you think?
Pretty much what you said, but I just want them to make a better energy sword model, and and basically what I said earlier. But otherwise, yeah, hopefully they'll get better. They'll focus more on the Blood Gulch guys, and Carolina and Church can disappear.
Yeah.
And then they'll bring Church back.
There is a good chance, I'm not exactly sure because I don't know when it's going to be released. I don't know what's going to be done. There's a good chance that the next podcast will actually be centered on Red versus Blue. So we will be able to get a lot more information from that, depending on whether they do that or not. I know Bernie was talking about it last week, and since I'm a sponsor, I can actually, go into the live stream and ask questions, that sort of thing.
Ask them if they think Eljay's a cool guy.
I can guarantee you they don't.
They'd respond and they'd be like, yeah, Eljay's such a cool guy, that energy sword guy, and you're not, Kahi, because you're stupid. We don't like stupid people.
Wow.
If they didn't like stupid people, Gavin wouldn't be hired among them. Like, Gavin's still there, so they have some soft spot for stupid people. All right.
Well, yes. So I suppose that about wraps up this coverage.
Yep.
Thank you all for listening, if you listened this far. And check out our other works, like Biocraft and the 3 Virtues, and get hype for Halo 4. Kahi doesn't need to get more hype because he already has it. Me and Eljay need all the hype we can get. So.
Yep, Kahi, he's failing at that, and we can assure you we'll be talking about Halo 4, showing you what we're doing in Halo 4, etc., etc. While working on Biocraft, don't get me wrong. And you know what? If you guys really want to see it, we will make a video where I demolish Kahi in Halo 4.
You can do that once you actually freaking get Halo 4, which you don't have right now. Oh. Well then.
I don't need Halo 4 to dish out some pain.
Yeah, just get on Reach, Kahi. Oh wait.
I'm actually kind of glad I don't have Reach now. It's like Reach was annoying me.
We're giving Reach a send-off, and so far it's been going mediocre. It was a really good start when we're like playing 2 matches in every playlist. That's the gimmick.
Well,
we did it yesterday with Halo 3. We're doing it today with Halo Reach.
Yeah.
So.
Well, okay.
Anyway.
Basically, I do have to say, if you are at all considering buying Halo 4, do it now. I'm not really big on Halo's campaign, but man, is that campaign good.
Yep.
Like it just looks fantastic. I mean, like I've hardly even gotten on the. I have to install it.
Oh yeah, that's right. You have to install it.
Oh.
Anyway.
From the disc too. Anyway, okay. Thank you for
We'll
listening.
see you guys over later.
Yes. Goodbye.
Goodbye.